Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shelly. I'm super excited because today I got a package containing a bunch of Moira, I think that's how you say it, M-O-I-R-A, Moira Cosmetics. I'm trying to remember to include a link to the website. I'm not sponsored, affiliated, endorsed. I get nothing in PR. I bought this with my own money because I thought everybody else was talking about it, and I'm like, what is this brand? And if you're like me, then and you hear other people talking about it, you're like, what, do they know something I don't know? So I thought I would pick up a couple of the items. I picked up probably more than a couple items. I got a lot of stuff. I'm not gonna say it's a whole face full, but it's a lot. So I just want to see what I have, and then I'm gonna have to maybe do some prep work and then come back. So I got a Prime Define and Highlight Stick Shadow, so an eyeshadow stick, volumizer lip gloss, a lip plush cream, what looks like a cream blush, setting powder, this awesome face palette that says Life's a Picnic. It actually comes in this super cute little plastic thing. It looks like there's some stickers on the back side of it. And then a eyeshadow palette. And this is pretty substantial. I love the packaging. It's super cute. So because I don't have any base stuff on, let me go put some of that on. I'll be right back. Skin's prepped, feeling very flat right now. We're going to change that just for reference. I've got the Dominique Cosmetic Everlasting Eye Base 24-hour crease proof on. I've got an ABH foundation. I guess that's the front part of it. It says foundation on the back. I've got mine in shade 230N, and I think it's spot on. I'm really enjoying it. I also grabbed this tinted old foundation stick from Lancome. This is in shade 320 Bisque, in case you were all curious. And, oh, I forgot to say, I started with the NYX Plump Right Back primer. Got that on. I also put a little bit of the Ish brow pencil on. I brushed it through. That's all I have going on right now. So let's take a look at this. I'm super excited because the packaging looks beautiful, or at least the outer packaging of it looks really nice here. So I do have this lip plush cream and a lip pencil. So I'm going to open up the lip pencil first because it's been a while since I had a lip mask on earlier. I actually did some self-care today. Did a face mask. I did one of those glaze treatments. Washed my hair, did the glaze treatment, blew it out, did a little tiny bit of wave at the bottom with my T3 stuff. I've been using that CHI heat protector. Makes my hair feel super dry. I don't like that at all. I was thinking it was the dryer or the curling iron that was just destroying it, and I don't think it was. I think it's the Chi thing, because did my hair today. It feels perfectly fine, soft, great, and it could be because of that glaze, but I don't think it is. I mean, I think that helped, but I don't think it's all of it. And I use like the brunette glaze, and I would say that I left the glaze on for probably all said and done about 15 minutes. No. Okay, so this is the lip pencil, and it says Moira must have lip liner in 002 Natural Sand. Yeah, it's a nude lip liner. You always need those, right? You need a nude lip liner. Okay, let's try the lip cream. This is in shade 01, a flush. Let's see. That's the lip product. It's super cute. Yeah, oh, nice, okay. And it is a nude colored matte lip. It doesn't have any like overly discernible scent to it. Perfectly fine nude. Maybe even a touch light. We'll have to see how the rest of the makeup looks. Okay, I want to get into this face palette. So this is the Moira Life's a Picnic Blooming Series palette. Did I mention earlier I'm not affiliated with these guys at all? They didn't send me any of this. There's stickers. Those are kind of fun. They're all like tea party related, which is kind of fun. Tea party, picnic. This is the palette. There's no oh yeah, there is. Hold on. Kind of. You can kind of hear it. Not overly so. I don't do very good with those. It's very satisfying, but I don't do very good with the ASMR thing. Okay, so this face palette's kind of pretty. I actually like this because in a pinch, I could get a full face out of this. I could get eyeshadow and face. If you want me to come back and show you how I would use that for that, let me know. Otherwise, let's get into this and just kind of play with some of these products and just see how they are. I've got a fluffy brush. I'm going to go into, because I like to be just as surprised as you guys, I'm going to go into this lighter, it's almost like a bronzer, but it looks like it's a flat bronzer, meaning that it's not super sparkly. So let's just take a little bit of this. Sometimes I start, if I've got two bronzers like this, I'll start with a little bit of the lighter one and then see if I need to deepen it up from there. I do have light, medium skin tone, a little bit of an olive base, I would say, or neutral. I guess olive would imply a little bit of green. Okay, I went in like 4 times to that, and it's the barest Like you can barely tell. So we're gonna match up this side too. I mean, it's there, but it's really, really subtle, which I guess would be good if you are someone who, like me, overly uses blush or is just not sure how much to put on. You can't really go wrong if it's overly light. So we're gonna go into the super dark one now. The first one was called Spill the Tea. This one's called Picnic Day. I'm picking it up with just the tip. So I'm like tipping into it like this, going into the powder. And we're just going to kind of use this maybe a little bit more as a contour. Oh yeah, that's pretty. Boy, all of a sudden I feel like I have this nice color and it gave my face some shape. So let's do this over here. I'm a little headachy today, you guys. Everybody around me has been sick. I don't have time to get sick because I'm getting ready to fly in 2 days. I've got a work trip coming up, and with the work trip is going to require a lot of driving. Okay, I feel like my skin has a little bit of glow to it, but I'm thinking it's the foundation, because I've got some texture in here, and I didn't use like a pore filling texture that primer that I can normally do. So we're gonna take this down the neck a little bit, kind of pretend that I just lost a bunch of weight. Wouldn't that be nice if that's all you could do? I love the way makeup transforms you, and there is nothing like, you know, eating right and taking care of yourself like you should, but sometimes it's nice to be able to have the power of makeup to kind of help you out a little bit, especially if you just need a confidence booster. Okay, so that contour bronzy type thing might be a bit rich for me right now. I'm gonna take my sponge that I used earlier. I didn't grab any more foundation or anything like that. I'm just gonna kind of blend it in down here at the bottom so that it lifts my cheeks up a little bit and doesn't look too far down. Okay, it's a pretty finish. I'm not upset with that at all. I'm gonna just kind of blend this in with my damp sponge just a little bit. Seems like it's a bit aggressive. All right, let's take a look at these blushes. So there's one that's a little bit more of a mauvey pink. There's one that's more of a kind of a dusty rose, more of a neutral color. And then you have another bronzer and a highlighter. I'm gonna actually, I don't remember what the shade is on the blush or in the eyeshadow palette. I don't know what like color story it is, I can't remember. I'm gonna take the one that's a little bit more of a nudie color. I'm just using the same brush that I used for the bronzer slash contour, the bronzer. So I'm gonna apply this. It's pretty subtle. It's very soft. All right, not horribly offended by that, but I think need a little bit more. I'm gonna go into the little bit more of a rose color. It's got a cute little teapot embroidered and embossed into it. Oh yeah, I like that color. Okay, I feel like you guys are awfully far away and dark, so I'm gonna scooch you guys in here in just a second. Yeah, I feel like my cheeks are downright glowy. So this is gonna be a very almost like luminous product, and I'm seeing some texture that maybe I don't love. Yeah, it's looking very, very glowy, like right through here. And I haven't even touched anything that resembles a highlighter. Let me scooch you in. Hey, you guys are much closer now. So can you see how glowy my skin is? I'm not somebody who overly enjoys highlighter. So seeing my skin so shiny and not in a sweaty way, it's a little strange. All right, I'm not upset by that, but I'm wondering if that might not be a better eyeshadow palette for me. Okay, so speaking of eyeshadow palettes, here's the palette. This says I'm falling for you. It's got a sticker on it, so super cute. Opens up like an envelope. You open it up, you do have a card in here. What does this say? It says I'm falling for you. It's like a little Valentine's card. And it's a blank card, so I mean, super cute little stationery. I would absolutely use this for my husband. I'm gonna keep this. He's gonna think that it's completely corny, but I'm not the most romantic person in the world. I feel bad for him because I think he probably came from being used to somebody who is overly romantic. Well, maybe not. I can't speak because I don't know his ex-wife, but I would expect that most men in general are used to women being a lot more romantic than I am from a comparison standpoint. Anyway, this is the palette. I'll explain while I'm opening this up. I don't need to open it up. It's already, it's like an open thing. What I mean by that is, like, if someone were to go through the effort of strewing rose petals all over the floor, my first thought would be, oh, did you just create more work for me to clean up? Not, oh, what a nice gesture. Boy, you really love me. How romantic. I would be like, do I not have enough to do? So I'm horribly unromantic. Anyway, this is the palette. It opens up like this. Super cute. I'm super excited. Okay, the protective sleeve is embossed. It has a little thing that says, to my love, every day I get lost in that special kind of love with you, from Moira. And this is the palette. Light and pretty. I'm feeling very February on this palette. It does look like it's got, I mean, the watermark in here has it looks like a little stamp, and it says "To My Love" from Moira at the bottom. Color-wise, I want to feel like it's predominantly cool toned, but I'm not entirely sure that math works out right, because we do have some warm shades in here, and even that kind of mauve shade is a little on the warm side. We've got a vanilla, which is great. We've got a super dark shade. This is what I look for in a palette. When I look for something and I go, okay, especially this size, I want to know, can I get a work look? Can I get a fun look? Can I get a date night look? And two shades that I always look for is a really dark shade, just in case what they give me doesn't have enough oomph and I have to go over it with a little dusting of something else to bring out more drama. And a light shade that I can use in my inner corner, because I have mature eyes, because I'm not young. I'm a lady of a certain age. I have close set hooded eyes. So in order for me to kind of get rid of this hood right here and this sort of downturn thing that's going on right now, I have to recede that hood, bring a little bit more light to the inside to kind of push my eyes back a little bit optically. I also don't want to look cross-eyed. So I've got some things I've got to work with. Nobody's perfect, right? And I'm very much aware of my flaws. All right. Let's take a look at this palette here. I want to start with, I'm going to do 3 looks. I have just enough time. I'm going to do 3 looks. I'm going to do a work look. I'm going to do a fun look. I'm going to take it off and come back and do a date night look. So let's start with that. Okay, so I've got a brush here. I'm going to start with this shade right here called Me and You. Normally when I look at a palette, there's not a ton of kick up. It's actually good. I'm going to use the mirror that's in here. Oh, hold on. We have another one of these. Okay. That made a little bit more noise. That was a little bit better. Speaking of noise, if you happen to hear noises in the background, both of my huskies like to come in when I'm filming. I don't know if they think that I'm talking to them or if they think this is where they're supposed to be, but both of my huskies are in here sleeping, so you might hear them. If you're not new, you wouldn't know this. But if you're new, if you're new, you wouldn't know this. But if you're an existing subscriber, they're usually making background noise. Okay, so we're taking Me and You into the shade over here. Sometimes when I look at palettes, I look to see, is it laid out lightest to darkest? This one, kind of, sort of. Sometimes I look to see if I can go down a column to get a look, because I'm typically a 3 eyeshadow kind of person most days. And I would say, yeah, they all look like I could get just about a good solid look with each one of them. Sometimes a little stretch of the imagination. If I go down a row, can I get a look? I'm going to say 1 or 2 of the rows I might be able to. The top one, no, because all the shades are too light, and I'm not somebody who really enjoys a lot of pastel eyeshadows. Strategically placed, like a transition shade, yes, but in general, not quite so much. All right, I'm gonna take, so if I were gonna use that for work as my transition shade, I'm gonna go into this warmer shade right here. It's called, in the end, it's called My Everything. I'm gonna take a little bit of that on my brush and let's just see how pigmented. Oh, it's lovely. Okay, so I'm grabbing a little bit more since I know what it's gonna look like. Anyway, so I'll look down a row and see if I can get a look that way. Did I tell you I use the, oh yeah, I told you already, I'm using the Dominique Cosmetic Eye Base. And it's been on my eyes for a while, so I know it's dried down quite a bit. So yeah, okay. You know what, any type of little patchiness that came up with this, it's blending and covering very well. So if I needed to build it up at all to get the saturation level that I want, I would say that, yeah, that's useful. Okay, I'm gonna just clean off this brush and go into this light vanilla shade over here, which is called Unexpectedly. And I'm gonna go all over my lid with that, or what's left of my lid. And that's maybe a little light. I mean, it's okay, but it seems a little jarring. So I'm gonna take a little bit of My Everything again, and I'm gonna mix it with that. So I'm gonna take these 2 shades together. I'm just going to pick up a little bit of each, kind of go back and forth between the 2, and we'll use that to kind of blend these 2 together. And I'm going to do the same thing again, just kind of bring it in a little bit further, just to kind of warm up that vanilla shade along the movable lid. Here, the dark shade at the outer corner. Grab a clean brush, just make sure that I've got blend up here partially. Now, I'm talking to you like, you know, I'm telling you what I'm doing. This is not a makeup tutorial. I am not a professional makeup artist, not a professional YouTuber either, but I can at least tell you step you through what I'm doing. Okay, so I guess the first question is, would I wear this for work? It's honestly maybe a little more colorful for work than I would normally wear, but it's not overly shiny and it's not going to draw too much attention. Yeah, I think it'd be all right. Let me put some mascara on really fast. I happen to have a e.l.f. Big Mood mascara, so let me throw this on this eye. and I'll be right back. This is the first look with this palette, and it's perfectly fine. It's subtle, it's pretty, it gives me just about the shape I want. Frankly, I could probably pull that up just a little bit more up here, where you see that hood, and pull my eye up just a little bit more. When I say pull my eye up, I'm trying to get it to not look like it's coming down like this, and instead, if I bring this shadow up a little bit higher on the hood, you get less of the light space, and it actually gives you kind of a little bit of an eye lift. You have to make sure though that if you're going to do that, that you don't take this eyeshadow too far down here. Instead, you kind of have to cut it up a little bit like that. I hope that makes sense. So sometimes I don't always tell you what I'm doing because I'm used to just doing it, but that's kind of my mental process, is to try to make my eyes look more awake and less downturned. Yay. So yeah, that's lovely and pretty, and it went on very well, and I didn't use any shimmers. I'm gonna take this one over here, just on that same eye. This one over here is kind of a champagne shimmer. There's two of them, one's slightly warmer than the other. But this one's called For You, so I'm just gonna grab it on my finger. Oh, very creamy. And I'm gonna put a little of that right here in the center. And if I do it right in the center, kind of blend it up, sometimes that'll make your eyes look a little rounder, because you're bringing light to that center portion of it. Again, I feel like this kind of pulls my eye away from my nose a little bit, which is kind of what I was hoping for. All right, so that's look number one. I should have done the shimmer first and then tell you that was look number one. Let's do something that's a little bit more fun. I kind of want to use these purples over here. Is that brush clean enough? I think so. I'm cleaning it off again just to make sure. I got a little Sigma switch here. I don't know what I did without these before. I use those little canisters that have like it's not like a charcoal thing, but it's got like a Brillo pad in it. I've been using those forever. And then when I got the Sigma switch, I was like, I need this in my life. So I'm taking this lavender, no, more of a lilac color. It's called Everyday. And I picked up a little bit of that. I didn't tap this one off very much, but I'm starting in my crease. Blend up. Purple is not something I would typically wear for work, but this being such a lovely shade, if I were working from home and doing wearing glasses, for instance, which is typically when I'm working from home, I'm usually wearing glasses anyway. But if that were the case, I can see going over my entire lid with that, maybe a little black eyeliner and some mascara, and call it good. Okay, that's pretty. Now I'm gonna, what did I say this one? This is the fun one, right? So now I'm gonna take this shade, ooh, do I want that one? Yeah, I'm gonna take this shade right here, which is called Dreamy. I'm taking it on my finger, and I'm gonna put this one on a little bit more on the outside, because it's a little bit more vibrant. This formula is really lovely. I didn't see too many videos on this. I just seemed like there was a lot of people talking about it. I think Allie Glines did a video. I think I caught hers. There might have been one other one. Okay, I need to wipe that finger off a little bit, and I'm gonna go into this shade right here, which is called Unconditional. So the other one I use predominantly mattes. This one I've got one matte, two shimmers so far. That is a beautiful color. It's got this like iridescent rainbow, not rainbow, like iridescent unicorn kind of quality to it. And it's not pulling up a ton of texture on my eyelids either, which is really nice. Yeah, I'm digging that. Okay, now I'm gonna go into, I really wanna use this gold right here because I'm keeping it in this row right here, and I use that shade. So I'm gonna take this gold a little bit on a pencil brush just to get kind of my inner corner, and then I'm gonna blend it into those other shades. And for whatever reason, I've been combining a lot of warm tones and cool tones in the last couple months and really enjoying the effect. I don't think there's any rules here. You know what? Here's the way I would look at it. Do what you want to do. If you feel confident, by all means, keep wearing it. If not, it's just makeup. It washes off. It's okay. Okay. I'm going to take this same color that I used on my crease and kind of buffed into my transition called Everyday, and I'm gonna run it down here, that lower lash line, and then I'm gonna take this dark shade right here on a flat, firmer brush, and I'm gonna use that as kind of a liner just to stamp on there. Stamping it into the outer lash line down here, and I'm continuing the same line, so from the edge of my lash line I'm going up at an angle, and that's going to give the shadow I want for my lash line. Alright you guys, I'm just kind of blending in and softening up that a little bit, and do I like that? I think I like that the way it is. I've just got my same kind of purple brush that I used earlier, and I'm just kind of lightly softening it. Let me throw some mascara on. Okay, you guys, there is look number 2. Maybe a little bit more mod, not quite my normal. Certainly this is softer. This is a little bit more, I don't know, edgy, but in a 60s sort of way. I'm going to use this shade called In Love right here. And it's a little warmer than the Everyday shade that I used before. And I'm just going to bring this up a little bit. Yeah, without going overly dark, it still gives me kind of a lightness to the eye look. Yeah, that's pretty. I like this. I'm enjoying this palette. That's super fun. Okay, so there's 2 looks. I'm gonna take both of these off and we're gonna come back and do a third final look. Give me just one moment. All right, you guys, mostly cleaned up. Almost anyway. So I might have the dregs of some things, but I'm filming these back to back. So it's not like I've, you know, I'm coming back on a different day. You know this already. This is normal for me. I want to try this Radiance shadow stick. It says it's prime, define, and highlight. I did not use an eyeshadow primer this time. This one's in shade 16 Nude Beige, which if you guys saw my declutter video, you'll know that I like these sometimes stick eyeshadows for, how do we get this off? Oh, there we go. For an eyeshadow primer. They make it super easy and fast, like mascara on my nose, to just kind of scribble on. This one's, it's pretty firm, actually. It's very stiff, and I feel like I just got a chunk of it on my lid. So I feel like maybe this should be warmed up in your hand a little bit before you go in with it. As a shadow itself, this is not a color I would just wear as a shadow. And because it's just too light, right? And the other thing that it seems it's pretty thick, but it's looking really crepey on my eyelid. So that's a little concerning. Let me get this eye over here on. Yeah, I'm rubbing off like pieces of it. You know what? If this is the only thing that's kind of a dud, this is not a super expensive brand. I was actually pleasantly surprised at the prices. Sometimes the new brands, you know, they've got a lot of personal money invested in it. I don't know how old the brand is, but it's new to me, so I'm just kind of assuming it's relatively new. So the shadow stick, I think I'm gonna have to play with this a little bit more to see how much I like it, but right now using it, you know, just bare, I would be curious to see if any other shades, same problem. I'm gonna take this just under my lash line too, a way to kind of open that up a little bit and prep for any additional shadows down there. It's just, it seems like it's very tuggy and drying. Let's go back and do a date night look, shall we? I've used a number of the shades. I think I've used every single matte so far. So I'm gonna go back into this one, which is the last one that I used. This one is called In Love. So I've got kind of a fluffier brush, but I'm gonna take In Love, kind of pat it onto the crease area, bring it up. Pretty shade too. I mean, they're not super saturated at this level, which is fine with me. Speaking of saturation, I don't know if I've spoken about this yet, but when I'm filming this, I had a gal comment on an old video, a video from like that I posted like a year ago, and I had used C Color Cosmetics, and she was just barbecuing me in the comments, basically telling me that my opinion or of my experience, which was poorly reflective of C Color, is because I didn't know what I was doing, which is, I admit that I don't always know what I'm doing, but the video wasn't to convince people that C Color Cosmetics is the best products in the world or that you should give them a pass. The video is, here's my experience and my opinion. And she was basically informing me that I was wrong and that she was going to be very defensive because she loved C Color Cosmetics. I don't hate C Color Cosmetics. Do I think that Alter Ego does better dupes? They do. Now, and I've always loved C Color Cosmetics because they were my first dupe brand. So it's not that I'm like anti C Color, but what I was comparing it to, it just didn't have I didn't have a positive experience. Maybe I was in a bad mood that day. I don't know. But the fact that she took a video from a year ago and decided to write an entire story of how I was wrong. And I just wanted to say, I'm sure I could check your videos for your dupes and learn how to do them correctly. And then I realized she had no video. She doesn't have a YouTube channel. So she just felt the need to educate me. Okay, you guys are entitled to your opinion, but could we just keep it friendly? Could we do that? Like, I would appreciate that. So there you go. Oh, now I'm going to take this dark shade down here, the darkest shade in here called Lucky. I'm going to actually pack on quite a bit of it. I'm loading up this brush pretty good. Very little kick up. I'm actually very pleased with that. And I'm just going to start down here and we're just going to go as saturated as So I don't know about that gal and I'm not going to keep going on about it, but I'm pretty sure she wasn't a subscriber. So this she stumbled across one of my videos, you know, the algorithm presented it to her and felt the need to double barrel me. I hope it made her feel better. So I'm going in a number of times to build it up. It's packing on pretty good. Man, I would love it if this shade stayed on my lids and didn't fade. I don't know that I have enough time to do a wear test today, because I certainly like an economical brand that can stand the test of time, and especially ones that give a little bit of creativity. Okay, and now that I've got the shade on both sides, I'm just going to blend, soften up. You know, as far as a eyeshadow primer goes, now that I've got that other color, those other colors on the top of it, now that matte kind of light shade, what did I say it was, bear or bisque or something, nude beige I think is what it is. Now it doesn't seem to be too crepey. So if you're using those shadows as like eyeshadows, I'd be real curious to see what your experience is, if they are as dry as they look, or it's just this particular shade, my mature eyelids. This is the eyelid that always gets a little patchy on, no wait, they both do. I was gonna say this is the eyelid that always gets a little patchy on me, but I just think that my eyes they're imperfect, you know? And okay, accepted them. We work with what we have. All right. I'm gonna leave this right here the way it is. I'm anxious to get into this kind of a taupey silvery gray color. It's called Meant to Be. And I'm gonna grab it on finger and we're just gonna press it in. Okay, I was gonna say, is this a sheer formula? But it's not. It's actually doing very well. I'm liking that a lot. That's super pretty. Okay, I'm gonna take the same thing on the other side. I'm gonna go back into the shade that I used in my crease, which is called In Love. And I'm cleaning off the brush that had Lucky, which is the darkest shade. So there might be a little bit of in here, but that's okay. And I'm taking this at the top of where I put that new shimmer on, because I want to darken this up a little bit, build it up just a little bit, and blend it into that darkest shade to give a little bit more definition and drama, but then also kind of tie it in together. And I think that's very well. All right, guys, I'm excited about how this is turning out. I need another shade. I've got to use this one. I'm going to use this one right here, which is called Still Falling, which is like this beautiful lilac color. And I'm okay if it's a little bit more sheer out here, but I'm gonna take it from basically my inner corner. And when it's like a pressed glitter, that silvery kind of pewter color. Yeah, that feels like it's a little bit more, and it's like an iridescent pressed glitter. So, I mean, it doesn't feel like a chunky glitter. And I think I could probably build it up to be more saturated. But if I just leave it to kind of blend in, sort of feather over the other shade, I see a lot of really multifaceted colors in it, and it's fun. Okay, that's maybe the only shade that I'm not in love with. Everything else has performed very well. Just kind of a little bit of blending out here. Sometimes the dark, almost, you know, like the dark plummy purple colors are super hard to formulate, so I hear. And my experience is that sometimes they're a little tougher to work with too. I feel like I lost a little bit of that shade when I blended it, so I'm just gonna kind of keep going over the top of it with all the shades like together. I don't know that that's something that's unique to this brand. Sometimes I just have to do that. That's very, very dramatic. I don't mind the shape at all. I think it's actually kind of pretty. I'm gonna go into this shade right here, which is like the one that I said was a little bit more of a taupe champagne there, to brighten. Wow, that got pretty bright pretty fast. That's okay. That's very, very bright. I want to go into that lavender lilac color called Everyday, and I'm gonna just run this underneath my lash line, combining that light inner corner highlight to that dark shade that I stamped on the outside. And I feel like now that I look at it, I did get quite a bit of transfer underneath my eyelashes. Let me do some cleanup. Let me put some mascara on. I'll be right back. I love this. I love it with the nude lip. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I love a dark smoky eye balanced with a, you know, a complementary or a contrasting, I guess, nude lip. I didn't use two products yet. I have a blush and I have a luminizer lip gloss. Let's try the lip gloss first. Do I need blush? I think I do. I feel like that bronzer is just a little crazy. Now, because I don't particularly love, you know, a bunch of texture showing through on my skin, I would probably go over the top of it with Mali. It's like that pressed, I don't know, it's like a gel that you can put on, but it's not really a gel. I don't know how to describe it. It's like a solid, and you rub the little sponge puff thing in it, and you press it onto your skin, and it like takes away all shine and texture. It's actually really beautiful. Yeah, the lip gloss is perfect. In fact, it's a little bit more pink, but I really like it. I'm feeling very, I don't even know how to describe it. What a fun fun look. I didn't use any eyeliner other than the shadow mascara that I used as an eye primer. And I love the way this look. And I gotta be honest, you guys, this e.l.f. Big Mood mascara, this is the best mascara e.l.f. does, in my humble opinion. I think it's fantastic. The shade of cream blush that I got is called Love Heat. I'm gonna apply it with a brush and just kind of like see how this goes. So I'm gonna pick up some of it and, okay, that's lovely. That took away a little bit of that shine and texture, and I love that color. This took my, you know, 90s supermodel bronzer contour to something that's a little bit more appropriate and doable. I'm just gonna blend that in just a little bit. What a great cream blush. I love that. I love that. Yeah, I'm super excited about this. Let me put some powder on. I should have had this powder out already when I was prepping for this video, and I did not, so I apologize. All right, you guys, and just like that, the majority of that ultra shininess has disappeared. Just like that. You guys, you've seen me use this over and over and over again, and I'm still barely through this container. This is the RCMA translucent powder. I got mine from Beauty Bay. It wasn't horribly expensive, and you get so much product in here that it is just well worth it. All right, you guys, that is my third and final look using this Moira, I'm Falling For You palette. I love this. I would absolutely check out more from the brand. I'm super excited. I like the fact that you got, you know, I got some stickers, and I got this stationery and this cute little Valentine's Day thing. This is not new. I bought it in, I think I ordered it at the end of November, maybe Black Friday type end of November. And anyway, so I'm a little bit late getting it to you now, but I'm excited. I'm excited to have it. I think it's super pretty. I love this look. This to me is a good date night look, but also I could go, you know, support my husband's band. He's in a little cover band that plays quite a bit. So that tends to be my date night makeup these days, is, you know, going and managing the band stuff. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing really well. I hope you guys consider sticking around. Hit the little subscribe button if you'd like to, and then you'll see more of my content in your feed. Ring the bell if you want to get notified. I tend to upload Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. So come hang out and have dinner with me, or save me for the next morning, and let's get ready together. Whatever works for you. I do a lot of 3 looks with 1 palette, a lot of first impressions. I like to bring you the products so that you can decide whether it's going to work for you. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing really well. Until my next video, bye for now.